Hey everyone, it's Chica. Today I'm going to show you how to use water slides to make tiny little decals like this on your altered moments. You know I love taking Precious Moments figurines and altering them into something new. This little guy here is a great example, and he's got this big check. How did I make that check? With water slides. I also use water slide decals on the little tiny signs on this van. This is a great way to add intricate signage to your pieces. So let me show you exactly how I did it. This is what I used to create it. This is water slide decal paper. Now the kind that I got is for laser printers because that is what I have, a laser printer. I use a laser printer because the printouts are much crisper and cleaner and bolder colors, and the water slide paper is actually a lot easier to use with laser rather than inkjet. But you can still do this with inkjet. You just need to get different paper, and your instructions might be a little bit different. Read carefully and make sure you follow the instructions there. But I'm going to show you the general technique, and I'll show you a great tip on how to get the most use out of a sheet of this decal paper. Okay, first let me show you how I made this one. Okay, water slide paper is expensive and I don't want to use a whole sheet of it. So this is what I'm going to reuse. Print your image out onto just a regular sheet of paper, the exact size it's going to be, and print it on the paper straight out of your printer like this. Now take whatever scrap of water slide paper that you have and cut a piece that's at least that big from maybe the borders here where maybe, you had a misprint, but you've got all of this good paper here on the edge. We can still use that. So here's a little piece that I cut, and I'm going to place it exactly over the thing below and tape it down. And I'm just going to use some tape to tape this in place. Make sure that the tape is not over the area that you're actually going to print, right? It's over here, so I'm only going to put the tape on the very edge. Nice and smooth, nice and flat. Now I'm going to feed this through the printer the exact same way, and it'll print right here on the water slide paper, and this will let it feed through the printer. Okay, check it out. Here it is after it's run back through the printer, and it printed right there on that little spot. So I can just take this off. I'll just go ahead and cut it away. And remember, below, that was where we printed. Perfect, right? So here's my little water slide ready to go on a tiny piece of paper instead of a whole sheet. So I'm just going to cut this out, and we're going to stick it onto our van. And I'm just going to trim it as close as I can to the edge. There we go. All right, that is ready to go. So we got our van here, and I got a little thing of water. I'm just going to stick this down in the water to activate it. Just takes a few seconds just to hold it down in here. You can kind of tell when it starts to get sort of slick and slippery in there. But I do like to hold it underwater so that it doesn't float. Oh, not yet. A little bit more. Please remember I'm using decals for a laser printer here today. The techniques I'm going to use will only work if you have a laser printer and laser decal paper. All right. Now, when it starts to slide off, that's how you know it's ready to go. So I'm just going to pull that off carefully and just put it right here on my little van. Oh my gosh, look at that. So cute. Very carefully, just kind of place it. Look, isn't that cute? Oh my gosh, perfect. I love it. All right, so I've got that positioned, and I'm going to let that dry. I can maybe take like a cotton swab and just kind of press it to get the bubbles out and any water that might be underneath. And I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to seal it with a varnish to hold it in place. Pretty cool, right? Let me show you another example. I created the check image here in much the same way. I designed the image on my computer, printed it onto the water slide decal paper, and then I added it in the same way that I did the first one. It was such an easy way to get a really intricate design on the piece without having to paint it by hand or mess with any sort of stickers or anything that might come off. This stuff works great. Now remember, anytime you add a water slide decal, you always need to seal it afterwards. It is possible that it could flake off. It is possible that it could peel. Seal it up so that it's nice and good. But you're using varnish anyway on your pieces, so it shouldn't be a big deal. Just make sure you maybe double coat that part. I hope you found that helpful. Make sure you like this video and comment below if you have any questions at all about this. And you should probably go ahead and subscribe to this channel because I'll be sharing more videos showing the tips and techniques that I use to create my altered moments. Thanks so much for watching. See ya.